Hampton University is getting backlash after offering free tuition to Ukrainian students. Last week, the university announced it would accept 50 to 100 Ukrainian-born and current resident students for free this semester and next semester. While some supported the initiative, many people took issue with it. One person on Twitter said, so you offering free tuition, room, and board to refugees from another country, but not to the young adults here who are in debt with student loans, or those who can't even afford to go? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Dominique, make it make sense.
Let's give 50 room and board full scholarship rides to some Haitian students. How about that? Once again, we have this empathy gap. I agree. You know, U.S. students are struggling. We saw the Howard students go out on strike, but that's just representative of a national trend where students cannot afford the housing to go to the schools they're going to, so they have to live in their cars and try to study. And so clearly, I think it's a misstep. I stand with Ukraine. It's not fair that Russia invaded, but come on now. We really need to look, if we want to start handing out scholarships, especially from a historically Black college and university, there's plenty of historically Black conflicts and wars going on and devastation from natural disasters in places like Haiti. If you want to make that move, let's make it over there.
Another person tweeted, LOL, Hampton University, dead ass wow for offering 50 Ukraine students free room, board, and tuition, while ninjas out here working 3 jobs just to keep the office. I can't even read that. I don't know what they're saying. The bursar office, off their backs. Okay, got it. So yeah, Alicia.
Yeah, that they are dead ass wow for that, because people sitting up here struggling. Stop prioritizing everybody over African Americans and prioritizing everybody over the daggone citizens. People are struggling, and yeah, it's not right. There's I don't think you're gonna find a person that says let everybody leap over top of these Black students at HBCUs that are struggling, working multiple jobs. Some of them are parents and they're doing 1,000 things. And it doesn't make any sense. The Ukraine ain't gonna let you jump over them. So no.
And if you do, they won't let you back out.
They won't let you back out.
Let you back out.
Word on the street is they ain't letting you back out.
Yeah, and they showed that train footage. They was elbowing Africans in the neck getting on them trains. So yeah, no. We have to prioritize American citizens and prioritize our students, and then we can look at everybody else and what they need.
Yeah, interesting to me how HBCUs are always saying that they're low on funding and always trying to raise money and funding for students or for the school itself to survive. In some cases, like my college, Bennett College, in some cases just to survive. And now we're willing to disperse that money to people who are not only not African-American, but not even Americans. I don't know how to feel about that, Dr. Oleka.
Well, I always think it's so interesting how all of a sudden a lot of Black voters sound like Republicans with regard to border and immigration questions when you start bringing up these kinds of issues. I mean, listen to what we're saying now. How could you put non-Americans over Americans? You should focus on domestic students as opposed to foreign students. If this were, say, Liberty University, I can imagine a few of my colleagues would be saying that they were a racist, xenophobic institution. Hampton is able to do what they want to do. Hampton's able to do what they want to do. Dominique did mention Haiti. That's true. But I think that there's a lot of interesting convergence issues here where people don't want certain groups to be able to do what they want to do or have resources, but then when it impacts them, they feel a different way. I think Hampton is doing what they're able to do. If you remember, Tammi Mack, I said on your show some weeks back, you asked the question, why should Black folks care about this issue in Ukraine? I mentioned immigration. Here it is happening to you right now at Hampton U.
Who, Ed? Go for it.
I mean, it is definitely a small subset of the larger question.
I mean, are Black people being a little hypocritical here, or are progressives and liberals being a little hypocritical?
No, not at all. I mean, like, look, the secondary education and collegiate education is one of those dinner time conversations. It's important to families. If we were having this conversation about whether or not we wanted to send our children to war in the Ukraine, it's the sort of same dynamic. With regards to our resources and how we disseminate them, that's a very fair question. And, I think to what Dominique and what Alicia were saying, it's tone deaf for Hampton in light of how I think most African Americans feel about the Ukraine. I think they're supportive of Ukraine fighting back, and you hate to see what's happening from Russia in there. But at the same time, I don't think there's very many people willing to commit billions of dollars, let alone the lives of American citizens, to go and fight on behalf of the Ukraine.